Hello, and welcome back to Recursed, the Ice Palace with Brian. Since last time, I spent a bit of time looking at Borrow. This one, and tried a bunch of things, and I cannot make any progress on it. So that one still is just blowing my mind. However, I did decide to go back and look at Toss once again. Let me remind you which one this is. So Toss is this guy, where we have a key and a block, and I guess kind of the most obvious thing that gives a quick sense of how this puzzle would work. Potentially. Yeah, I can kind of talk through the reasoning that I did to come up with a solution on this one. So, here is something that gets you most of the way there, but not all of the way there, just to give a sense of things. So, you can get a block over to the green fire. Well, imagine I'd done that correctly and the block had landed on this ledge. And then I could bring the key there. And standing on the block, I still would not have enough height to get up here. So we need 2 blocks. So the issue with the whole puzzle is, how do you get 2 blocks over there? And I can use some of the reasoning that I used from a previous puzzle, which is if you need 3 things in a room, how do you do it? Well, if it's a room with green fire like this one, where you can create a coffee cup using a fissure, then you can bring 1 object into the coffee cup. You can bring 1 object into the room before you use the green fire fissure. And you can bring a 3rd object in if that object is enchanted. So in this case, we have the enchanted key. However, the room's filled with acid and will burn off the enchantment off the key if we're not careful. And last time that we looked at this puzzle, which was probably a few episodes back, I did have the insight that I could get the key inside the wet copy of this room by leaving it right here where I'm standing, and the key would stay out of the acid and stay dry. And that is indeed going to be an important part of the solution. And the other part of the solution I'll have to show off in a little bit after I leave a block right there. So here is going to be a jar, a coffee cup that contains 2 rocks up at the top that I could set the key on. So I'm going to leave the wet coffee cup right there. Then, the next thing I need to do is what? Let's see. I need to move the key in. No, I need a dry. Right. Coffee dry ledge. And then move the key in. Right, I remember now. Okay, so the next thing I need to do is correctly throw this block and leave it right here. And so what's going to happen is we're going to leave a key in the wet copy of the room and then have it fall down off of the ledge in the wet copy down onto this block in the dry copy. So here is the dry thingy. Then the next thing I need to do is get the key into the room in a safe spot. So I can leave the key here, bring in a block, and now throw the block to the left, and then throw the key to the left, so the key is sitting on top of the block. So now the key is inside the room, and then I'm going to bring the dry coffee cup into the wet coffee cup. So now the key is sitting up there inside the room. So we've gotten the key inside the room. We're going to move the key over to this ledge. So when we go into a different instance of this room where the block up top doesn't exist, it will fall down to the block on the bottom. And so that's how we're going to get the key in. Inside the dry coffee cup below, we already have 1 of the blocks. And now I'm carrying the other block that we need. And there's the key, and here's my 2 blocks. And so I believe this should be enough to win. I haven't actually completed this bit. But now that I can stand up here, can I reach the... Yes! Toss is complete. I solved another puzzle. That's amazing. I looked very briefly back at Cupboard and didn't see any way to make progress, so instead, let's take a look at a new puzzle together. Let's take a look at Low Tide. Okay. We've got a key that I can't lift up. Low tide suggests there's going to be water at some point. I'm going to be lifting it. And then over here, oh boy, we have an oobleck that I can't lift. And we have the ability to make a fissure with some wetness. Okay, well obviously I'm going to need to do this because there isn't a whole lot else I can do right at the start. And that was wet acid, right? So does that mean I'll be burning off the enchantment off of this chest? Let's just try bringing this in here and see what happens. Yeah, there goes the enchantment. But now I do have 2 copies of this chest. And so obviously I could use a wet copy of this chest to be able to go fetch ooblecks, which might be useful somehow. But the only thing I can duplicate is the chest, which I already have a duplicate of, or more ooblecks. Or coffee cups, but duplicating coffee cups is rarely useful. If I hop out now at the top level... Oh, this seems useful, almost. Okay, so let's hop out of the top level. I lose all my access to my chest and my ooblecks, but it does give me a way to lift a key. So it gets me halfway to solving this puzzle, effectively. So now all I can't do is get over here. Okay. So that seems like some type of progress already. Now I'd note, if I had a key, I could fetch an oobleck. Could I bring a coffee cup into a coffee cup? Yes, but then it wouldn't be wet. So just to illustrate that, I have a wet coffee cup and a wet coffee cup. But if I go into the wet coffee cup, I can duplicate it over there. Is that interesting? What if I go into the one that's over on that side? Well, I could have just carried this one over on that side as well. Now I have the oobleck that I can't lift over. Okay. Still not seeing any obvious thing to do. This should bring me to a glitch room, yeah. Because you can't duplicate a coffee cup and re-enter it. Alright. That might be useful if we need to get out of wetness at some point, but I don't think it's going to be. And then the other obvious thing to do, yeah, is to throw the chest around. However, the issue with throwing the chest around is I need a dry coffee cup to throw it around in. Because if I hop into this coffee cup, it's going to be wet. Okay, but I can make a dry coffee cup using the glitch room again. So maybe I need to use the glitch room here? So here is the next idea, which is I hop into here just for the purposes of invalidating this other coffee cup. This coffee cup is now a glitch room. It is dry. And so if I bring this into the dry glitch room, I don't know if that's going to help me, though. It almost looks like you could escape at the bottom over there. Glitch rooms are like funny shapes. Let's see. Can I do anything useful from here? It doesn't seem like it. Didn't really change what this room looks like inside at all. If I bring the chest into the coffee cup, then I can just duplicate the chest. I want to duplicate a key, I guess. And the fire is always going to be under the acid, as is the entrance to this room. So if I ever bring a chest in here, it's always gonna be... Oh, my brain. Is there a way... If I bring the chest down here, I could bring a key into the chest. Okay, here's something I haven't done yet. It isn't clear to me if and how this is going to be helpful, but let's try it. I can bring a key into the chest. That duplicates it. So now I have 2 keys. And more importantly, now I can get a coffee cup that has access to a key. So if I bring a coffee cup that has access to a key into the chest, well, then it just, the oobleck is going to turn into that, and that's not particularly useful. If I bring the chest into the coffee cup, I'm not sure what this is going to do. So there's access to a key. I burnt off the enchantment. The most I could ever lift out of here now is 1 key and lose access to the chest, so this is not any good, right? Okay, I'm not making any progress doing this, right? Doesn't matter which of these things I do, I can just carry this out. And I'm in the same spot I was before. Okay, so that doesn't help. I don't see a way to throw the chest like across a room somewhere valuable. Which is typically why you have an enchanted chest, is so that you can hop into it, get into the same room, throw it around, and then hop back out of it. But it seems like you always burn off the enchantment when you do that. Oh, is there a way... Is there a way to embed the chest in the door? It doesn't matter. Anytime the chest enters this room, whether it enters it from here by going in the chest, or enters it from here by going in the coffee cup, the enchantment will be burned off the chest because it's going to be touching acid. So once I bring the chest into this room, I can no longer, like, throw it around and do something clever with it. And if I bring the chest into the coffee cup, and then go into the chest, sure, with another chest even, and then pop out. Where do I pop out of? Right, I pop out of the chest because the chest hasn't gone anywhere. And if I just go in, I can't get the oobleck out because I don't have a key. So you either have to get the oobleck out, let's try to do some reasoning. There's 1 key at the top level. Let's assume that there's nothing clever that I can do with jumping or flooding this room, which I'm pretty sure there isn't, which means I need 2 keys at the top level. So somehow I have to turn a profit on keys. If I brought a key in here, I gain a 2nd key, But there's no way to get the key out without opening the door and spending the key. So that doesn't seem like it can help. If I duplicated coffee cups that contained a key, the second coffee cup would just be a glitch room, so I can't use that to duplicate keys. It feels like it has to be something with bringing this over. And if I bring the oobleck out to the top level, if I bring anything out to the top level, it seems like I'm only getting one thing right. If I bring an oobleck out to the top level, I can get one extra key. Okay, how did I bring the oobleck out to the top level? Let's try to do that again. Was it like this? This just gets me a key. Yeah, that does nothing. That was a no-op. How did I do this before? I probably sacrificed the chest. And then what? Then got a coffee cup. I have no idea what I'm doing. How could I have possibly gotten the oobleck out without spending a key? Seems like I must have spent the key, so I guess I must have brought both of these over here. So I must have done this. Let's see, here is a coffee cup with a key. That doesn't seem any more valuable than the key itself. But now I've just done a no-op and gone nowhere. And if I go in here and take a coffee cup, I can take the key into the coffee cup, and it'll do me no good. Because basically I can spend one key and get one right back. I opened one of these doors before. How did I do it? Let me make a cut until I figure that out, because all of a sudden I'm stumped. Okay, I know how to get a duplication orb out. And I'm starting to see some possibilities for something that I can do. So, to get a duplication orb out, I simply have to go swim through this room. It's pretty much that easy. So you swim through this room, and you can get your oobleck. Another thing I noticed is that ooblecks that are under acid do not actually duplicate. You have to move the oobleck up to a dry spot in order for it to actually duplicate something. So that's kind of interesting. So, another thing I realized is that I might be able to bring the chest down to the key and then, quote-unquote, lift it back up. And the way that I would lift it back up is by having an oobleck up here somehow, and then picking up the chest down here, so I end up with a new copy of the chest. So that might be a way to bring the chest down to the key and still be able to have the chest kind of up top. But I'm missing a bunch of things yet, I'm sure. But here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna leave a couple of jars up here because I think I'm gonna need them later. Then I'm gonna do kind of the essential first step, which is to burn off the enchantment and have a way to go fetch ooblecks. So here's an oobleck. And now I could have multiple copies of the chest. I need to hold on to the chest is the thing. I need to hold on to the chest is the thing. So the question is, okay, so let's let the oobleck go. Let's take the chest out here. I have an unenchanted copy of the chest now, which seems strictly less good. But I could bring it in here. Yeah, I end up losing a copy of the chest. Is there a way to get both the chest out and an oobleck out? Doesn't seem possible, right? You can only have one thing that's going to come out at this level. And if I lose the chest, it seems like I'm stuck. Because now I just have an oobleck, which is nice. It allows me to get a key. But I still don't have a way to get the second key. If the enchanted chest somehow had still been in here, and then I'd still have a way to gain access to the chest and then do the whole thing again. But I thought I'd proved at the beginning that it was impossible to get the enchanted chest into that room. Because regardless of whether you enter here, or whether you enter here, you end up underneath acid. And that burns off the enchantment, right? Is there a third option I'm not seeing? Like, the enchantment would already be burned off. Like, if somehow I could, like, embed the chest in the door, getting the chest into this room, the enchantment would already be burned off, right? And I don't think the chest would be enchanted just as a red herring. So the implication is there's some way to get the chest into... Can I get the chest into the glitch room? I could get the chest into the glitch room, maybe. Okay, here's an interesting idea. What if I leave the chest in the glitch room? This is actually a very interesting idea. This is just the type of thing this puzzle game would ask me to do. So, this leads to the glitch room. It's a duplicated jar that I've already gone into the duplicated jar. Let's grab a couple copies of this, because I have a feeling I'll need them. And now, I guess I want to bring the chest into the glitch room. Is that enough? Do I have to do something with the chest first? There's nothing you can do with the chest first, right? It seems like all I could do is leave it in the glitch room. So let's leave it in the glitch room. Here's the glitch room. The chest is in the glitch room. Maybe I can re-enter the glitch room from somewhere else to go get the chest. That seems like something that would be interesting to do. Right. So, pretty much the only option available to me right now that's at all interesting is to do this. Yeah, and I can re-enter the glitch room from here. And I probably want to do it on this side. So, let's waste this jar. And now, enter the glitch room. Here we go. Fetch the chest. And now I have the still enchanted chest in this room. Surely this is a key part of the solution. I probably needed to leave a jar back at the top level. You know what? I can do that. Watch this. Just pop right out of here. Jar at the top level. Oh, but it's my only way back in. So yeah, I should have left another jar at the top level, probably. Okay, but what can I do from here now? So I have an enchanted chest in here. Let's imagine I still had a bunch of jars at the top level. I can hop in. Doesn't seem like there's any reason to throw the chest over there. Like, I can grab this at any point, but I can't get it back out. I could grab a continuation. I'm certain that this is one of the key insights. And now it's just a matter of figuring out the other key insight is. I can't get this chest out because I can't lift it over the door. If I were to... Doesn't seem like it's ever valuable to bring the enchanted chest over to the right-hand side. But it seems like it must be. What can I do from here? I mean, ideally I'd like to get an oobleck out, right? But I can't do that because I can't lift the oobleck over here. The only way to do it is to flood the whole room or bring in a key. I don't want to flood the whole room right now, so let's try bringing in a key. So, that's the wrong way to do things. Let's go in here. I need to carry a jar back out so that I have anything available at the top level. But let's try bringing a key into this crazy place. I will only be able to carry one object out. So this is not going to be the solution, but hopefully it'll help me see something useful that I might be able to do. So, I have a key. I have 2 keys, basically. Spending a key here doesn't seem like it would be useful to me. I don't see how a key is going to help in here. And if I bring a key down, it's also just going to turn the oobleck into another key at that point. It seems like what I need to do at some point is going to be like duplicate the chest and then burn off the enchantment or swim into an underwater chest in order to fetch an oobleck and something. But I'm not sure, and I think we're probably out of time again for today. Okay, well this gives me another puzzle that I can look at off camera again. I think we found one of the key insights, which is how to get the enchanted chest into this room by using the glitch room twice. Once as a storage room to put it in, and once as a room to go fetch it back out. But then I'm still not sure what to do. So, that's something you can look forward to in the future. So long as I'm still making about 1 puzzle's worth of progress a day, I'll continue with this, but I do wonder when I'm going to run out of steam. So, wish me luck. I hope as always you guys are having a great day, and I'll see you again soon for more Recursed the Ice Palace with Brian. Bye-bye.